You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
Mr. President, I look forward to working with you to advance Florida's priorities.
It was a close race, but Jacksonville's Ron DeSantis is the governor-elect of Florida.
Plus, we'll have Scott Hopes live this morning to discuss his win for District 4 seat on the Manatee County School Board.
And a majority of Sarasota County voters chose to extend the Legacy Trail into Payne Park. Election results on the way. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. And good morning the day after. Glad you're up already, and glad you're up early too.
Yeah, I made it.
Late night
I'm
for you.
wide-eyed and bushy-tailed.
You were here last night till about midnight or so, maybe?
Yeah, it was great. I didn't want to miss election night, so 11:15. As soon as I was finished on the air at 11, I walked right out the door. And
Yeah, I watched the many results as I could till about 10, then I went to bed. And,
That's impressive, though. You were
yeah,
up
well, I
late.
was very curious too about a lot of big races, and I know that John Scalzi was curious too. Good morning, my friend.
Yeah, I'm a little bleary-eyed this morning as well. I stayed up as well. It was a fascinating evening. It was a beautiful day, actually, to have an election. No weather issues whatsoever in the state of Florida. And the same sort of thing is going to develop again today. Another warm, muggy afternoon without much of a chance of rainfall, maybe an isolated inland shower. That'll be about it. Right now, everything is very quiet for your morning commute. A-OK, no issues. The temperatures running just about exactly where they were yesterday, with 69 in Sarasota, 69 in Bradenton. Inland temperatures a smidge warmer, but not much. And a mix of sun and clouds throughout the day today. Plenty of sunshine to boost our temperatures to well above average, coming in at about 84, 85 degrees, with only a slight chance of a late day shower. Complete forecast coming up in just a second.
I'll talk to you again soon. Thank you, John. 5:01 right now. Our roving camera is live out there at US 301 and 41 right there at the intersection. That's where 301 actually begins and then heads north all the way through the state. Goes for miles and miles right now. Not a lot of traffic out there. That gets busy as the morning commute begins, though, in about an hour or so. Let's check the maps right now. Manatee County checking clear so far. No issues right now. Let's go farther south. Here's the scene again in northern Sarasota County. Some issues there on University in the westbound lane around Whitfield as you head toward Lockwood Ridge. Farther south, Clark Road, an issue there in the westbound lane around Beneva. And farther south, all clear as of 5:02 on this Wednesday morning.
All eyes were on the gubernatorial race last night. It was a close one between Republican Ron DeSantis and Democrat Andrew Gillum.
Very close. In the end, former Congressman DeSantis beat the Tallahassee mayor. Marla Spence has a closer look. She's live in the newsroom now. Marla, good morning.
Hey, Jess and Ray. Republican Ron DeSantis is now the state's 46th governor. He defeated his opponent, Andrew Gillum, narrowly. Now, this race was one of the closest watched races within the country. Now, Gillum, who is Tallahassee's mayor, was hoping to become Florida's first African-American governor, but DeSantis, who represented Florida in the U.S. House for more than 5 years, played off his public support from President Trump to win over voters. Now, the 40-year-old former congressman pledged to fight toxic algae blooms, protect military veterans, and keep scholarships low for students to attend private schools. Now, after DeSantis' big win, he thanked President Trump for standing by him.
Mr. President, I look forward to working with you to advance Florida's priorities. I think you're going to get tired of me calling you, asking you for things for Florida, but I look forward to that. I think we'll have a great partnership.
And coming up at 5:30, we're going to break down some more of the races from last night's election and from races, including the state's amendments. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Marlon. This morning, of course, we continue our election coverage here on the Suncoast. It was a very close race for the District 4 seat on the Manatee County School Board. Incumbent
Chair Scott Hopes won 52-48% over Joe Stokes, and the winner joins us now. Good morning, Dr. Hopes. Thank you for your time.
Good morning.
Boy, you got up early today for us.
Very early.
But you're in a good mood, I'm sure.
I am. I am.
This is your first election win. Of course, you were appointed by the governor last year.
Correct.
Quickly rose to chair. So how's it feel to win your first election?
It feels great.
Yeah.
It's got to meet a lot of people.
Yeah.
And the turnout was fantastic. So the people chose.
They did.
We talked about this a little bit before we went on air, but in the primary election, there were 4 people running for your seat.
Yes.
Joe Stokes, actually, your competitor for the general election, had come out with the most votes. What do you think changed between now and then and got you those more votes and ultimately the victory?
I think it was a combination. I mean, first and foremost, the voters got to know me better because I did not start campaigning when the governor appointed me. And because I quickly became chairman, And with the district's transition, with a lot of personnel changes, a change at the top at the superintendent, you know, as board chair, there was a lot of work that needed to be done. So it wasn't like I could take off the campaign, but the past few weeks I had to.
You must have been concerned when you were bumping heads with a colleague named Dave Miner. You had an issue in a parking lot that we showed on the news, and that was tough timing. That's all behind you now, I imagine?
It was, and I'd like to believe part of what we were dealing with on the board had to do with the election. Because you basically had about 12 people in the community that had applied to be appointed by the governor, and for some people who didn't know me, they looked at me as somebody who just sort of parachuted in and got on the school board. And so I think there were a lot of vested interest at play, and so it was a challenging race.
What about your superintendent? She's called interim superintendent Cynthia Saunders. How much work's being done to replace her or make her permanent?
Well, right now we're stabilizing the district. Florida doesn't have an interim superintendent, and by its constitution and statutes, you have a superintendent. And so for now she is. But really the district needs a strategic plan before we know what type of leader we need for the district. The district has not operated with a strategic plan. We've just sort of been doing. Right. And so the first step is that we will have 2 experts meet with the board on the 13th next week and talk about the process of recruiting a superintendent and what the organization needs to do in preparation for that search.
How soon could that happen, do you think?
Well, it will probably take 6 months to a year to actually develop a strategic plan. That's a very definitive document that sets the goals and the course for how we're going to achieve those over the next 5 years to 10 years. The searches for a superintendent in Brevard County and in Duval County, the most recent in the state, took anywhere from 12 to 14 months once the search had commenced. But they had a strategic plan going into the search.
And Duval County hired you or Diana Green.
Yes, they did.
That's right.
Yes, they did.
Out of time, Scott. Thanks for getting up so early. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you both.
us.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Voters here in Florida have decided to restore voting rights to certain convicted felons. The state approved a referendum called Amendment 4. It restores voting rights of Floridians with felony convictions provided they complete their sentences, including parole or probation. The referendum does not apply to anyone convicted of murder or sex crimes. And coming up at 5:30, Marla Spence will give us an overview of all of the amendments that passed and the other ones that didn't.
Now to Florida's U.S. Senate race, a close one all night long. Rick Scott claiming victory against incumbent Democrat Bill Nelson. And although he has claimed victory, Bill Nelson has yet to concede. And this is so close, we're going to have to re-examine those votes in that race.
Yeah, I'm curious whether or not there'll be a recount there or not.
I think it's triggered automatically. We'll find out more throughout the morning on that one.
Yeah, that'll develop. Democrats nationally have targeted Vern Buchanan for years. Once again, he's prevailed. Florida's 16th congressional district includes Sarasota, Manatee, and Hillsborough counties.
Once again, Buchanan won his 6th term in Congress. The Longboat Key businessman was first elected back in 2006, replacing Katherine Harris. This time he beat local attorney David Shapiro. He wasn't the only Buchanan to win last night. Details of his son's victory in a state house race later in this hour.
It was a packed house in the ballroom at the Hyatt Regency in downtown Sarasota last night. The Republicans watched, cheering with excitement as the results came in. Congressman Vern Buchanan spoke to the crowd of supporters after beating Democratic opponent David Shapiro for his 7th term in the 16th congressional seat. Other winning candidates at the Republican Watch Party included Christian Ziegler, who now has a seat on the Sarasota County Board of Commissioners, and State Senator Joe Gruters, who is celebrating his victory there as well. The vice chairman of the Republican Party, Joe Gruters, in Sarasota, says he thinks this will be an easy transition for him.
You'll see the next stages getting ready for those seats and those winners. For Congressman Buchanan, it means going back to D.C. to continue doing the great work he's been doing. For Joe, it'll be moving from the House to the Senate. So it's going to be it's going to be a fun transition period time.
Vice Chair Brill says the voter turnout for this election surpassed the 2014 election and even came close to the 2016 presidential race. Turning now to Florida's 17th congressional district, which includes voters in 9 counties, Republican State Senator Greg Stubbe faced Democrat Ellen Ellison for Tom Rooney's seat. Ellison replaces April Freeman on the ballot, who died less than a month after winning the Democratic nomination in the primary. Stubbe spent 6 years as a member of the Florida House of Representatives and has been in the state Senate since 2016. Stubbe will join us live here on air coming up a little later at 6:30.
He has won all his elections. He's got the Midas touch, it seems. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, a road closure will impact drivers in Venice this morning. We'll tell you exactly where.
And coming up a little later in the hour, we'll continue our election coverage with the latest results for the amendments that passed and the only one amendment that didn't, despite the majority.
It is 5:10 on this, the day after. Beautiful shot of the downtown skyline. Let's check the drive time forecast now from meteorologist John Scalzi.
It looks absolutely great. We're not looking at any weather worries whatsoever. None of the inclement weather boxes checked on the drive time forecast to work. You can expect to see dry conditions with temperatures in the mid-70s. As you head home, it's going to be humid, and there wouldn't be surprised at all to see an isolated inland shower, but really rain is not in the forecast. And as far as the airport hub serving Sarasota International, all running on time according to the FAA. Your forecast in a minute.
That went really well.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard serve to give back to their country and communities. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for an array of benefits, such as affordable health and life insurance benefits, education benefits, including tuition assistance, student loan repayment and GI Bill programs, a retirement plan based on part-time service, and VA home mortgages. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about all the benefits available in the Army National Guard.
You like to pay less. That's why you made Honda Accord the best-selling midsize car in America. Get the redesigned Accord, the North American Car of the Year, or Civic, a KBP.com Best Buy for less than the competition. Like SUVs and trucks? Get Motor Trend's SUV of the Year, CRV, the 8-passenger Pilot or Ridgeline truck for up to $4,240 less today at your local Honda dealer.
Enjoy fine wine and great foods, all while supporting a great cause. It's the 17th annual Suncoast Food and Wine Fest, happening Saturday, November 10th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Premier Sports Campus in Lakewood Ranch. Taste hundreds of wines from around the world and sample great food from the area's finest restaurants. All proceeds go to local charities and Rotary projects. For tickets and information, visit suncoastfoodandwinefest.com.
Hunger is a growing problem in our area, and a huge number of Suncoast residents are suffering in silence.
It could be your coworker,
Your child's classmate.
or your friend fighting to secure their next meal. But you can help.
ABC7 is partnering with local organizations to help feed the Suncoast.
Go to mysuncoast.com/hunger to join the fight. Help us.
Help the hungry.
WWSB ABC7 is an equal opportunity employer, and we're looking for qualified people to join our dynamic team. For a list of current openings and to apply online, visit www.mysuncoast.com/contact/employment. If you're a motivated team player and you want a rewarding career in a fun, fast-paced working environment, WWSB ABC7 could be the perfect fit for you. Check out our list of openings now.
Investigate TV tackles the tough topics.
What happened to my life was awful.
When your health is compromised, we investigate.
They are really drug dealers in white coats.
Corporate greed exposed.
How do you trust them to run this program?
The powerful held accountable with in-depth journalism led by award-winning journalist Lee Zurich. We're your watchdog. Search Investigate TV on your Roku device. Download it now.
Now your ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Yeah, so we're just about exactly where we were 24 hours ago at this time in terms of temperature and dew point. We're looking at 69-degree temperature and a 68-degree dew point. Enough moisture is in the air that we'll probably see an isolated shower build late in the day after maximum daytime heating. Otherwise, I think we'll have light enough and variable enough winds that will develop a sea breeze in the afternoon, keeping the coast just a tad bit cooler. Right now, they're northeast, but only at about 3 miles per hour. As we head through the day, we'll continue to warm under the influence of plenty of sunshine, up to about 82 degrees by the time we get to lunchtime. We'll start to see the beginnings of a sea breeze building at that hour. Through 3 p.m., we'll look at temperatures that top out around 84 degrees. And then as we head into the evening hours, the sea breeze will move a little further inland. We might pick up an isolated shower or two, but the rain chance is minimal, only at about 10%. We'll be lucky to find any kind of rainfall across our region. Right now, everything is very quiet. Morning commute should be dry as a bone. No issues here. I have a beautiful sky. I think once dawn breaks, we'll look at a few scattered showers continuing through the northern tier. That is the old frontal boundary that's in the process of decaying away. Plus, we have a new frontal boundary that just sunk south with a low pressure area that's producing a few scattered showers in and around areas of the deep south. Arkansas, Texas, Kentucky, Tennessee. Eventually, Atlanta later today may see an isolated shower or two as well, so we'll watch for that. But basically, most of the country looks pretty good. Went very quickly there, but there's isolated chance of a severe weather outbreak, mostly in terms of gusty winds back toward Texas. Otherwise, tomorrow everything looks very good. So does Friday in terms of any kind of severe weather threat for the United States. Looks just fine. As far as the forecast goes, we have this frontal boundary and a low pressure area attached to it, producing this chance of a severe weather outbreak in parts of Texas. That low pressure area drifts toward the east. The frontal boundary itself stalls out, so it never really makes it to our area. It kind of just holds there until the next little push comes from a secondary cold front this weekend that'll bring us, well, almost average temperatures. We'll still be above average. It'll not be a big cool down, but we will be a couple of degrees cooler than we are right now, which is running around 5 degrees above average. Mostly sunny skies, an isolated inland shower, cooler this weekend, but next week, that's when the big front comes our way, and that one promises to really cool us dramatically. Satellite view shows kind of a mix of sun and clouds around currently. We'll watch the secondary cold front now well back to the west advance into our area as we head into probably Tuesday of next week. By Thursday or Friday, we could see our daytime high temperatures in the mid-60s. That's of next week. And we could see nighttime lows dropping down in some instances in inland areas into the 40s, I think. So some pretty chilly weather coming our way, considering what we have had. In the tropics, not much here that we need to concern ourselves with. An old expression in tropical meteorology is that the hurricane season usually starts with water temperatures and ends with stronger upper level winds or shear. And we certainly have that with these frontal boundaries moving through. It's going to be hard to find a system developing over the course of the next week or two. Beach and boating forecast calls for a southeast wind at about 5 knots, turning to the west with that sea breeze in the afternoon at about 5 knots. In the extended range forecast, looks like this. Today we'll go with a daytime high of about 84. Same thing tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, all look just fine. Front comes through on Saturday and lowers our temperatures down to about 83. And as we head into next week, we'll factor in another chance of rain on Monday or Tuesday, particularly as the next cold front arrives, which promises us a much bigger cool down. Back to you.
All right, thank you, John. We're taking a live look now at US 301 and US 41. Obviously, a very busy intersection typically within Sarasota County. Many mornings when we're looking at the traffic maps, there's some congestion here where US 41 and US 301 come together. But this morning it is 5:18 and it appears that not many people are on the roads. I guess everyone's tired from staying up and watching those election results last night. Now we're going to take a look at the first alert traffic maps this morning. We begin in Manatee County. It's all green. Nothing to report there. As we head south into Sarasota County, there was an incident a little bit ago on University Parkway. That appears to be cleared up. There's some slight slowdown on Clark Road if you're heading eastbound toward the interstate. Other than that, nothing major to report at this hour. And as we head even further south into southern Sarasota County, it's all clear at 5:19 on your Wednesday morning. A road closure will impact drivers in Venice this morning. The project includes the installation of new, larger water mains. City officials say the project will help improve the water distribution system and overall water quality. This Wednesday from 8 until 4, Home Park Road will be closed from East Venice Avenue to Laurel Avenue. That's starting today. There will not be access to Home Park Road from Cypress Avenue or Laurel Avenue. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, happening today, Samsung is unveiling its new phone. What makes it so unique? That story and more in today's Tech Bites.
And next half hour, we'll continue election coverage with the latest results for County Commission, as well as Bradenton City Council. Those stories and much more on the way. 5:20 right now. Here's a peek outside.
A beautiful look at the city of Sarasota skyline as everyone starts to wake up on this day after the election day. We'll be right back after the break with more of your election results.
So I kind of grew up all across the country. I come from 5 generations of military men. My dad is still active duty. My grandpa is retired Marines. I like going for runs with my dog. I love, taking her out to the dog beach over in Venice. There are so many things here to do on the Suncoast. My goal every day when I come into work at ABC7 is to tell your stories, give you that major local news and those details that you really care about. I'm Jacqueline Matter and I'm here for you.
Find out first at 4 on the Suncoast with ABC7 News at 4. ABC7 News at 4 starts with a detailed look at your first alert weather forecast to help you plan and prepare. We give you a fresh, fast-paced rundown of the day's top stories and videos, including breaking news, live updates, and traffic hotspots, all at a new, more convenient time. Find out first at 4, weekdays on ABC7. Watch Saturdays at midnight on ABC7. Premieres September 8th.
I'll be right back.
You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like, then click following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community with ABC7 on Facebook.
Teachers inspire our children and promote a lifetime of learning. So ABC7 and Gettle Automotive want to honor these chalkboard champions by giving them the chance to win $500. But we need your help. Go to mysuncoast.com/chalkboardchampions to nominate an outstanding teacher who's really making a difference. And each month we'll deliver $500 to one teacher in Sarasota County and one teacher in Manatee County. Go to mysuncoast.com and nominate your chalkboard champion today.
Here's a live shot from Atlanta, Georgia. Plenty of excitement there last night. They've got a new governor-elect, Brian Kemp. 50% of the vote to Stacey Abrams, a Democrat, 48%. And Abrams vows to remain in the race until every vote gets counted, so she's not conceding quite yet. Close race there in Georgia last night for governor. Even a closer race here for U.S. Senate. More on that throughout the hour on Good Morning Suncoast. There might be a setback in the relationship between the U.S. and North Korea. The scheduled meeting between Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and one of Kim Jong-un's key aides has been postponed in New York. No word yet as to what might have caused that postponement.
We expect to get our first look at Samsung's foldable phone today.
Details in today's Tech Bites.
Phone. The company expected to show off its long-awaited phone that folds like a book at its developers conference today. Reports say Samsung will show pictures of the foldable phone, which is rumored to be called the Galaxy F. A new hydrogen-electric semi-truck will soon hit the market. The Phoenix-based car maker Nikola has unveiled the Tray. The truck has 0 emissions and uses hydrogen fuel cell to power its electric motors. The company will start testing the truck in Europe in 2020. And the hashtag #IVoted dominated Twitter most of the election day. And it turns out all those I voted selfies make a difference. A recent study found users who were exposed to pro-voting posts were more likely to head to the polls. Those are your Tech Bites.
Tech Bites, sponsored by Vistaprint.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Wherever you are this season, send some holiday cheer with a beautiful holiday card from Vistaprint. Now in more shapes, styles, and finishes than ever before. Wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. Plus, they're all 50% off. Just enter promo code HOLIDAY at Vistaprint.com.
How do you like your coffee?
Some people think I'm a little crazy because I love pumpkin pie spice so much. At least I know what I like. I like it international and I expect to be delighted.
Give joy, get joy at Kohl's with an extra 15% off. Save 30 to 50% on outerwear. Save on boots for the family and an Instant Pot. Plus, only at Kohl's, you get Kohl's cash to spend later. The more you give, the more you get. Give joy, get joy at Kohl's.
Blue 32, Blue 32, hut hut! It's the Ghetto Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Ghetto dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Ghetto location near you or visit Ghetto.com.
Ghetto's got it.
You know, fortunately, this was my first job out of college, so I was able to come back home and work in my hometown. I wore 2 hats. I was sports director and I was a news anchor. I did that for a few years and then decided to go full-time into news. Well, I love our team here at ABC7. We have a great mix, and it really is a great mix of personalities, of experience that meshes really well into a really strong team. I'm Scott Dennis, and I'm here for you.
ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. Watch ABC7 wherever you are, on our live stream, on mysuncoast.com, on the ABC7 My Suncoast app, powered by the Eye Associates, providing sight for life, featuring traffic maps and live radar, dining with recipes, and My Suncoast Restaurant Guide. Visit mysuncoast.com. Click on the Apps tab to download the ABC7 My Suncoast app for Apple and Android.
Today at 9 on Suncoast View.
Parties, lectures, and trolley tours bring Sarasota's architecture to life in this special event. I'm Linda Carson. On Suncoast View, we preview the Sarasota Architectural Foundation's Sarasota Mod Weekend and learn the secrets behind some of Sarasota's most iconic structures. Plus, we'll get a sneak peek at the Urbanite Theater's brand new play.
Today at 9 on Suncoast View.
Designers do it with style.
Tell me what's going on here, because
Why, you don't like my hair? The Mark and Mandy Show. In-depth design ideas.
What is up with the tuck tape here? Let's cover it up.
Amazing beauty and fashion tips.
So Halle Berry has amazing skin. Her secret is coffee grounds.
No.
Delicious recipes.
Today, I'm gonna show you a special dish that is sure to please that special someone in your life.
Watch the Mark and Mandy Show right here on your favorite channel.
Introducing the ABC7 First Alert Weather Tracker. This all-new mobile weather lab is just one more way. The team you trust is keeping you ahead of the storms. The ABC7 First Alert Weather Tracker, sponsored by Mr. Sparky, America's on-time electrician. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
The votes are in and your voice has been heard, and this morning we break down the amendments that passed.
Plus, voters gave State Representative Joe Gruters a big promotion. Those stories and more right now on Good Morning Suncoast.
Welcome back, everyone. It is 5:29 on the day after your election day. You know what that means?
It's Wednesday?
That and no more political ads.
Oh,
no more flyers in your mailbox. The commercials are over.
Oh, gosh.
You get some.
Missed that, right?
Yeah, and I know meteorologist John Scalzi is looking forward to not getting any more robocalls.
Yes.
Oh, don't you know that's true? Absolutely. Oh, of course I'll be getting them for, win a cruise to whoever. Becky Omayaka reports in with 60 degrees. That's the cool spot right now. She's always a little bit cooler there because of a drainage area she has in the soil type. Cooper in central Sarasota comes in at 68 degrees. Scott in Pinecraft, 66. And Richard in Northport, 65 degrees. So it's pretty kind of universal temperatures. As far as the rain shower chance goes for us today, it's pretty minimal. Maybe in inland areas, maybe in the late afternoon, an isolated shower, but that rain chance is 10%. Along the coastline, we stay dry. Forecast temperatures, well, we're starting about where we did yesterday, coming in near the 70-degree mark, and I think as we end the day, we'll be pretty close to where we were. We have almost exactly the same temperatures that we had 24 hours ago. So expect to see late in the day, past 3 o'clock, around 7 o'clock or so, about a 10% chance of showers. Otherwise, a daytime high of about 84. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. 5:30 right now. Let's check our live camera out there at the intersection of US 301 and US 41. There's some cars coming from the Bay of Vista area, heading north on 41, about to reach the fork in the road of 301 or 41. You got that now. Let's go to the maps. Here's the situation in Manatee County. Not much to report so far. Folks sleeping in a little extra after last night's late results on the elections. Farther south, here's the upper half of Sarasota County. Not much to report. Even an earlier issue has cleared up on University. And then our final map to the south will indicate no problems at 5:31 on this Wednesday morning.
Besides the candidates, there were also a dozen proposed constitutional amendments in Florida.
From restoring convicted felons' voting rights to phasing out dog racing, Marla Spence has an update and a live a story from the newsroom. Marla?
Hey, Jess and Ray, yeah, many of those amendments passing on the ballot last night, many of them coming as a shocker to many voters. Now take a look at this full screen and a breakdown of a few of those amendments. Now, those amendments that were pretty much controversial were Amendment 1, 4, 6, 9, and 13. Amendment 1, homestead exemption, which seeks to create a bigger property tax break for many homeowners by increasing the homestead exemption by $25,000, was shot down by Florida voters, which came as a surprise to many. Now, this was one of the only amendments on the ballot that was voted no. Now, Amendment 4, which restores felon voting rights, was passed by 5 million votes. Florida will now be added to a list of states that will automatically restore voting rights after a criminal's sentence is complete, and murderers were not included on this ballot. Now, also, Amendment 6 was also passed by 4 million votes. This amendment will expand crime victims' rights and an increase in the mandatory retirement age for judges. Also passed Amendment 9, which would prohibit offshore drilling and vaping indoors workplaces, was also passed. And one more controversial amendment on the ballot was Amendment 13, which now puts an end to greyhound racing in the state by 2020. Ray and Jess.
Hey, a lot of stuff. Thank you, Marla. Now, voters gave State Representative Joe Gruters a promotion last night. He is now the state senator-elect, and our Taylor Torgano talked to him last night about his new role.
Good morning. Since last year, Joe Gruters has represented eastern Manatee County and northeastern Sarasota County in the House. Now he moves to his new role as state senator. We caught up with Gruters after his big win. He says he can't wait to go back to Tallahassee to fight for the community that he loves. The two main issues that he ran his campaign on were the economy and jobs. Gruters tells us he plans to get as much money as he can from the state for the cultural arts in Sarasota.
We have Moat Marine, a $150 million project. We have the Sarasota Bayfront, $100 million project. We have Selby Gardens. We have the arts. We have all these community organizations. I'm going to go up there and I'm going to try to bring back as much money as I possibly can for all of these community organizations.
Another main priority for Joe Gruters, finding a bipartisan solution to red tide. This Republican beat his Democratic opponent, Olivia Babis, by 30,000 points. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Taylor. Also elected 2 people on the Bradenton City Council last night in Ward 3. 62% of voters voted for Patrick Roth, while 38% voted for Cornelia Wynn. You can see those Results on our screen. Incumbent Roth was taking the win over the political newcomer Wynn. Roth was first elected in 2006 before the Great Recession. He previously spearheaded efforts to get state and federal funding from Ware's Creek Flood Mitigation Project. Roth now wants to focus on revitalizing 14th Street West. In the race for Bradenton City Council, Ward 4, 62% voted for Bill Saunders, while 38% voted for Bemis Smith. In the race for the next mayor of Holmes Beach, I know this was one a lot of people on social media last night were curious about. A big win for Judy Titsworth, who received 79% of the vote compared to 21% for Joshua Linney. The current mayor, Bob Johnson, not running for a third term. Voters chose Commissioner Titsworth over political newcomer Linney. This is Titsworth's third term as city commissioner, where she has served as chair since 2013. And on to the Holmes Beach Commission race. Kim Rash won over opponents Pat Morton and Don Purvis.
And now to the Suncoast seats in the State House in District 71. Two first-time candidates, two attorneys. Republican Will Robinson beat Democrat candidate Tracy Pratt. He received 55, or in this case 56% of the vote. He'll replace Jim Boyd, who could not run again due to term limits in Bradenton. In the State House District 72 race, incumbent Democrat Margaret Good won re-election by the man who used to hold that seat. The Siesta Key attorney beat Ray Pilon 50 to 49%. Good won a special election earlier this year when Republican Alex Miller suddenly resigned. This time Good beat Pilon, who held the seat from 2010 to 2016 until he ran for state senate 2 years ago. Now, Good says she credits her win to listening and talking about the issues important to her constituents. Among the bigger issues, she says handling red tide and also the issue of education. Good says she'll take today off and then start to work on her 2020 election very soon.
Turning now to the State House seat in District 73. We'll see those numbers in a second. There you go. Republican Tom Gregory beat out opponent Democrat Liv Coleman. This was a wild race. If you remember, in the GOP primary, Melissa Howard was forced to drop out after lying about a college degree. Tommy Gregory, an attorney and a former military officer. Liv Coleman, a professor at the University of Tampa. Gregory wins that race. In the race for Florida's House of Representatives in District 74, James Buchanan beat his Democratic opponent, Tony Mowry. This is Buchanan's second attempt to win a seat in the House after losing to Democrat Margaret Good earlier this year in that special election for District 72. James Buchanan, also the son of Vern Buchanan, who won the 16th congressional seat last night. Some of the issues he thinks are unique to South Sarasota County includes water quality and the need to expedite River Road. Republican Ashley Moody will be Florida's next Attorney General. Moody defeated Democrat State Senator Sean Shaw. Moody is a former judge and federal prosecutor from the Tampa area. During the campaign, she pointed out that Shaw had never prosecuted a case and that his first shouldn't be as Attorney General. Moody will take over the position held by Republican Pam Bondi, who was barred from seeking re-election because of term limits. In the race for Florida Chief Financial Officer, incumbent Republican Jimmy Patronis beat out Democrat Jeremy Ring. Patronis was appointed in 2017 by Governor Scott, while Ring is a former state senator from Margate. As for Florida's Agricultural Commissioner job, Republican Matt Caldwell narrowly beat Democrat Nikki Fried. Caldwell is an 8-year veteran of the Florida House of Representatives, while Fried is a Fort Lauderdale-based attorney.
In the city of Northport, voters decided 2 city commission seats. In District 4, Pete Emmerich beat Kevin Rouse 62 to 38%. The district covers the Biscayne Drive and Tamiami Trail areas of Northport. Emmerich, by the way, is a former city government landscaper. Now, third time's a charm for him. He lost 2 previous runs for a city commission. In the race for the District 5 seat, incumbent Jill Luke beat Peter Bartolotta with nearly 54% of the vote. Her district includes the Jockey Club and the West Villages area of Northport. Now, an upset on the Venice City Council. Helen Moore beat incumbent Fred Fraze in the seat 3 race. It was close. She won by a total of 57 votes. She has a background on the Venice Planning Commission.
Lots of decisions today involving positions on local government boards, making decisions that impact the future of the Suncoast. In Sarasota County, 2 county commission seats were decided. In District 2, 56% voted for Republican Christian Ziegler, while 44% voted for Democrat Ruta Junari. Ziegler, of course, is married to the chair of the Sarasota County School Board, Bridget Ziegler, who won her election earlier this year. He is currently the state Republican committee man for Sarasota and was a former congressional aide to Vern Buchanan. He ran for chair of the Florida Republican Party but lost. This is his first run for public office. In the race for the District 4 seat on the Sarasota County Commission, 54% voted for Republican Alan Mayo, who is the incumbent, while 46% voted for Democrat Wesley Ann Beggs.
On the Manatee County Commission now, let's talk about that. Incumbent Carol Whitmore was reelected in the District 6 at-large seat. She beat Candace Luther with 63% of the vote. For the District 2 seat, Manatee County Commission, Democrat Reggie Bellamy won with 58% over Republican Dimitri Dennis. Also a new face in District 4, Republican Misty Servia beat attorney Melton Little. That was his first run for office, 52 to 48%. Servia will replace Robin DiSabatino, who is stepping down. On the Manatee County School Board, you heard him earlier this hour. He was live with us in the studio. District 4 Board Chair Scott Hopes won his first election. He was appointed to the seat by Governor Scott last year. Last night he beat Joe Stokes 52 to 48%. It is 5:40 right now on your Wednesday morning. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast. Health officials are trying to get to the bottom of a fatal virus outbreak. What we know so far about that issue in New Jersey.
Now we're taking a live look at the city of Sarasota. Beautiful view this morning on your day after Election Day for your school bus travels this morning. John Scalzi has the latest on the forecast.
Yeah, it looks good. That tower cam shot gave you an indication of what to expect today at the school bus, and that is a pickup time and a drop-off time that should be just fine, really. Humid and dry this morning with a temperature of about 74. On drop-off, you'll have a warm day today, coming in probably about mid-80s. A little bit warmer inland, a little cooler near the coast, hot and humid. But I think most of the rain that might form will be later than the drop-off time for most of the school buses, so we're okay there. 10 out of 10 chance of an outside recess today under warm, humid conditions. We'll be right back with the forecast.
Enjoy fine wine and great foods, all while supporting a great cause. It's the 17th annual Suncoast Food and Wine Fest, happening Saturday, November 10th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Premier Sports Campus in Lakewood Ranch. Taste hundreds of wines from around the world and sample great food from the area's finest restaurants. All proceeds go to local charities and Rotary projects. For tickets and information, visit suncoastfoodandwinefest.com.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
The ABC7 First Alert weather app just got even better. It's easy to use once you download it. First, tell the app to follow you, so you get alerts pinpointed to exactly where you are. Then customize your settings with all the places you go, from the beach to grandmother's house. Get accurate alerts for everyone you care about. You can even pick which weather alerts and categories you want and what they sound like. More ways to customize and more ways to keep your family safe. Download the ABC7 First Alert weather app today.
Tonight on ABC7 News at 7.
Us winning tonight, I think, will send a message to Mr. Trump and Mr. DeSantis.
I'm a proven conservative. I stand for the Second Amendment. I will not raise taxes. We'll continue Florida's economic success.
We've got more races than Daytona, the governor's race, U.S. Senate, and the local races that affect us here on the Suncoast. I'm Alan Cohn. We'll discuss at the Trapezoid.
Tonight on ABC7 News at 7. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
When ABC7 declares a First Alert weather day, it means we can expect major changes to weather conditions here along the Suncoast.
It means there could be severe, potentially dangerous weather ahead.
We tell you when a First Alert weather day is coming because we want you to be prepared.
A first alert weather day is an advance warning. We'll let you know about any changes in the weather when the first signs appear.
ABC 7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard serve to give back to their country and communities. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for an array of benefits, such as affordable health and life insurance benefits, education benefits, including tuition assistance, student loan repayment and GI Bill programs, a retirement plan based on part-time service, and VA home mortgages. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about all the benefits available in the Army National Guard.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we look at temperatures that are just about exactly where they were yesterday, coming in at 69 degrees, and a dew point value of pretty close to that at 68 degrees. So very humid start to the day once again. A light wind today, though. The light wind will allow for a sea breeze to build in the afternoon, and that'll hold our temperature to about 84 degrees, still well above average by about 3-4 degrees. And in inland areas, it'll be certainly even warmer, coming in around 86 or 87 degrees. So it is going to be another warm day, no doubt about it. As we head into the evening hours, the sea breeze, which pushes inland, and the amount of moisture that we still have in the air might trigger off maybe an isolated shower in inland areas. But that'll be about it. As far as radar goes, it's quiet right now, and that's pretty much what we expect to see throughout the day today. If you're looking for rain showers, you got to go back north, where that stalled frontal boundary is still producing a few scattered rain showers. Nothing over land right now. Most of those rain showers are out in Gulf and Atlantic waters and along the coastline of the Delmarva. But we are still seeing that frontal boundary hanging in there. Now, just to its north is another frontal boundary that's sunk south, and a little area of low pressure rippling along and producing some rain showers through parts of Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, back through Kentucky, Tennessee, eventually getting closer to Atlanta as we head into the afternoon. There's a slight threat in the northern Gulf Coast, western northern Gulf Coast, of an isolated outbreak of severe weather today. That'll be mostly in the form of some gusty winds and some larger hail. But that whole system will gradually drift to the east and kind of lose a lot of its intensity before getting closer to the Atlanta airport later in the day today. Tomorrow, the threat of severe weather has been much reduced, according to Severe Storms Prediction Center, and I think that'll hold true again on Friday. Another frontal boundary will be sinking southward, and behind it some drier, cooler air, which is why you see this kind of curved slope here to the forecast for severe weather. So we'll watch this one frontal boundary, try ever so hard to make it into the state of Florida, but just not be able to do it. The low pressure area kind of rides along that front like a car on a railroad track, and the front itself stalls out across the northern tier of the Gulf waters. Mostly sunny skies is what we end up with today, with maybe an inland shower. And as I said, that rain chance only at about 10%. Cooler this weekend, though, as another frontal boundary sinks southward. You can already see some snow showers in this forecast model beginning to develop in parts of the open plains. That's a taste of that colder air, which will eventually be sinking southward and give us temperatures that'll drop maybe 3 or 4 degrees by this weekend. And then as we head into next week, some significantly colder air comes our way by, well, the front will probably be approaching by, I'd say, Tuesday or Wednesday. But by Wednesday or Thursday, I think we'll see some daytime highs that are only in the 60s around here. So a significant drop in temperatures headed toward next weekend. Rainfall Futurecast keeps us in pretty light rainfall amounts really over the next 4 days. We're only looking at, in our area anyway, maybe half-inch rainfalls, if that. That's over a 4-day period. And most of that is going to occur in inland areas east of the interstate. You can see the coastal regions stay dry. I think that's certainly the case today. Not much in the way of cloud cover. We'll have a mostly sunny day, I think, but if we see any clouds, it'll be kind of a sun cloud mix with only fair weather clouds around. Southeast wind switches west today for boaters. Smooth conditions on bay and inland waters. It'll be nice to be out there on open waters, I think, as the inland temperatures start to, again, be relatively warm for the next 3 days. We'll look at temperatures that are well above average. Not much of a rainfall chance. Then as we get into the weekend, we'll lower our temperatures just a little bit, coming in closer to the average for this time of year. And then Monday and Tuesday, that stronger front approaches with slightly better rain chances. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, John. Taking a look at first alert traffic now. We begin in Manatee County. We haven't seen any issues really to report all morning. We think all the Everyone's sleeping in after staying up for election results last night. You see a little blip on your screen on State Road 70 if you're heading eastbound, but nothing major to report at 5:49 this morning. In Sarasota County, again, some buildup there on University Parkway. We've been seeing that come and go throughout the morning if you're heading westbound, so expect some minor delays on University Parkway. Other than that, it is clear in the northern half of Sarasota County. In the southern half, there's a slight delay on US 41 if you're heading northbound near the Warm Mineral Springs area. But other than that, nothing major to report at almost 5:50 on your Wednesday morning.
Well, unusual story in health right now. Health officials are trying to solve a fatal virus in a New Jersey medical facility. As reporter John Lawrence tells us now, at least 10 patients have died.
A viral outbreak in a New Jersey medical facility is breaking hearts and families.
I said, "What do you mean?" And then he told me about the virus.
Christine Paulus lost her 16-year-old daughter Elizabeth to adenovirus.
I had never heard of it.
The adenovirus has affected dozens of people in the Wanacue Center for Nursing and Rehabilitation in New Jersey. 30 cases have been confirmed, and at least 10 people, including Elizabeth Paulus, have died from it.
My firstborn, my girl, my beautiful Elizabeth Ann.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says adenoviruses are usually spread by personal contact or touching a surface that has the virus. Symptoms include a fever, sore throat, and bronchitis. The virus doesn't often cause major problems for relatively healthy people, but it can be dangerous for those with weak immune systems.
I'm angry. I think what it is, I need to know more information. I like facts. I just want to know what happened. She's gone. I can't bring her back. She's not coming back.
Meanwhile, a separate strain of the adenovirus was discovered in another pediatric facility in New Jersey, where at least 5 children have contracted the virus. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
2 Hollywood stars are taking their custody battle to court. Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt called it quits in 2016 after 2 years of marriage. Now they're fighting over the custody arrangement of their children. The two share 6 children, ages 10 to 17. Jolie has sought sole custody and Pitt wants joint custody. The trial is set to begin on December 4th.
5:51 right now. We'll update the day's top news headlines next. First, a peek outside from our tower camera, I believe, at perhaps a boat on Sarasota Bay. Yeah,
Interesting. Wonder what's happening out there so early this morning.
early fishing, I think.
Oh, okay.
Well,
didn't know that was a hobby.
We'll hook some top stories up next. Stay with us.
Blue 32, Blue 32, hot, hot. It's the Ghetto Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Ghetto dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Ghetto location near you or visit Ghetto.com. Ghetto's got it.
Hunger is a growing problem in our area, and a huge number of Suncoast residents are suffering in silence.
It could be your coworker,
Your child's classmate.
or your friend fighting to secure their next meal. But you can help.
ABC7 is partnering with local organizations to help feed the Suncoast.
Go to mysuncoast.com/hunger to join the fight. Help us.
Help the hungry.
Find out first at 4 on the Suncoast with ABC7 News at 4. ABC7 News at 4 starts with a detailed look at your first alert weather forecast to help you plan and prepare. We give you a fresh, fast-paced rundown of the day's top stories and videos, including breaking news, live updates, and traffic hotspots, all at a new, more convenient time. Find out first at 4, weekdays on ABC7.
Be a Heart Walk hero. I'm Scott Dennis. Join ABC7 and the American Heart Association for the 2018 Suncoast Heart Walk. It's Saturday, November 10th at J.D. Hamill Park. Walk with us to help raise funds to fight heart disease and stroke. Your support will help us advance life-saving breakthroughs that will keep more hearts beating. We can't save lives without your help. Register for free and walk with us to have fun and help hearts. For more information, visit suncoastheartwalk.org.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business. Watch Saturdays at midnight on ABC 7. Premieres September 8th.
Here are some of the top stories we're following for you on the Suncoast today.
It was a close race, but the governor's office will remain Republican in Florida. Former Jacksonville Congressman Ron DeSantis beat Tallahassee Mayor Andrew Gillum last night.
Plus, Governor Rick Scott narrowly unseats Democrat U.S. Senator Bill Nelson after Nelson served for the last 18 years. Just 40,000 votes split the two. Out of 8.1 million Florida voters that came out to cast their ballots yesterday, it appears that there will be an automatic recount in that race.
And voters in the city of Sarasota chose to move future elections to November. They've been held in March, and turnout has been down to about 15% usually.
Now we'll head over to meteorologist John Scalzi for a last look at your forecast.
Yeah, we got three things on the boards for you this morning. One, again, another warm and dry day today for the most part. Only an isolated late day shower possible, and then slightly cooler this weekend. Back to you.
All right, next hour we'll have Brad Stubbe in our studio here.
Greg Stubbe.
Oh, his father's Brad.
Yeah.
Thank you. His father Brad was the
I'm sure
sheriff.
he doesn't, yeah.
I'm so glad you caught that. Yeah, Greg Stubbe. He won again, his third election. He's won in a row. He's now Congressman-elect for the District 17 south of Clark Road.
Yeah, so he'll be heading to Capitol Hill. Curious to see his daylight savings bill is.
Oh, that's right.
Up there right now. We'll have to ask him
do
about
it in
that.
person. Speaking of Capitol Hill, we leave you now this hour with a beautiful shot of your rotunda there, where the Democrats have won back control of the House. Republicans still have control of the Senate.
All right, we'll be right back with more election results and more news right after the break.